That's supposed to be a Kappa? Hold on. Kappa. Wow, that's a sad excuse of a Kappa, to be honest. I did not expect to see that. Holy shit. Is it actually gonna play a 1.5 minute ad in front of my video? No, I'm gonna turn that off. Okay. I got a fucking ad on my own live stream. That's... Oh god. Hey, what's up, people? Say hello to Cotton, my mod. Okay, I turned ads off. Fuck me. That's so obnoxious having to watch 1.5 minutes worth of ads just to fucking watch a live stream. God damn it. Alright, here we go. We're live, boys. Welcome in. You're my favorite YouTuber. Thank you. Oh, welcome in, everybody. Jesus, that's more people than I expected. You guys are fast. Hello. Daddy Cliff. Can we keep it English in chat, though? But welcome in, everybody. YouTube chat is usually too fast based. Usually too fast? Okay. Stylosa. I don't even compare myself to Stylosa. We make like completely different content. Welcome in, everybody. This is gonna be the first official YouTube live stream. I'm glad it works. Last time I did, it didn't really work, and I went back to Twitch. How are you doing? I'm doing fine. I hope you guys are doing fine as well. Jesus, we started the stream literally 1.5 minutes ago. This already has 16 people here. How does one even chat here? That's fast AF. I'm gonna be honest, guys. Like, I usually stream on Twitch, and chat is like really... I don't want to say slow. I rather call it cozy. Like, I can read what people say. It's like really pleasant. Why no German? I don't want to exclude anyone, and my content is based in English, so I assume everybody's able to speak English. So I like to have everybody be able to talk to everybody. Okay, my ping is rising. Okay. I play an Xbox. That's interesting. Hold on. So we're doing this little test stream because what I want to do is like at least one monthly stream on YouTube where we can just hang out with the YouTube community. You guys can ask me some questions about future projects, about the projects I did in the month prior to the live stream. And I'm gonna sit here and answer some questions, but meanwhile, let me turn down the... I cannot... Okay. You cannot change the latency setting unless you restart the stream. That's stupid. We're gonna have a bit of a ping issue here, but it is what it is. You boosted? I know. Tell me something I don't know. Ask my question. Alrighty. It's actually kind of different. I can see why Super Chat is a thing, because fuck me, this is like kind of difficult to keep up with. We're not going to be playing comp today because I want to be able to read your guys' chat as much as possible and answer questions you have, which is why we're just going to kind of chill around. Maybe we'll do some arcade, but for now we're going to be in the practice range. I'm kind of just doing what I always do on Twitch, which is I start like the first 20 minutes-ish of the stream just hanging out in the practice range, shooting some stuff, talking to chat, and yeah, kind of just answering questions. Give me a reason to play again totally on burnout. You know, you don't have to force yourself to keep playing. Sometimes the best thing you can do is take a break, and it's gonna feel way more fresh to you again when you play once more. If you really want to play Overwatch, but you feel burned out, like, whatever you're doing, try to do something else than what you usually do. If you always play arcade, try to play some quick play, try to practice, like, a hero that you really like and try to get really good on them. If you're tired of competitive, try some custom games, something along those lines. Are you DPS main or support main, and what do you think about being a victim to Winston? I'm a support main. Well, I say I'm a support main. The only hero I usually play remotely well is Zenyatta. So granted, I'm a little rusty because I didn't touch the game all that much. I enjoy playing Lucio. Lucio's really fun, but I'm not that good at wall skimming, which is something I would like to work on, but it's kind of difficult for me to kind of get the hang on. A friend of mine, EchoFlex, he's a really good Lucio, and he gave me some tips, but it's difficult for me to practice that stuff. And I'm picking up more Mercy this season as well, because she's really fun to play now. Beyond that, I can play almost anything in the game to like a sufficient degree, so I can flex play. On a serious note, I made a very real video today, and I love your opinion on it. I'll tag you on Twitter. I've seen you tweet at me a couple times, and what I recommend to you is not tweeting other creators about your work. because that's not how you're gonna like get attention of people. The best thing you can do is just make the best content you can, and you know, do everything right in the YouTube game. Just work on your SEO, work on your content, work on your engagement. Even if like a big channel like Stylosa or your Overwatch was to recognize your channel, that wouldn't magically like give you a boost in views. Just do what you want to do and do it as well as you can. Customs are great with friends. My highlights of canned reactions could start a new channel. There's some very interesting and creative types of Overwatch content out there that make me kind of feel, I know, not that creative, because I just, like, I make a living just talking about the game, and then there are other channels who really put a lot of effort into making something genuinely entertaining, you know? And I like that. I think it's cool that we have creators like that in the community. How do you feel about Winston diving your backline while playing as Zenyatta? The thing with Winston is that you need to, for one thing, obviously keep your eyes peeled. He's big and not easy to miss, and he makes a lot of noise when he jumps. So when you know that he jumps, always assume he's going to jump at you and try to back off. Try to look for him in the sky, try to back off, and if he wants to get you, he's going to have to step out of his bubble if you keep trying to back off. At which point, he's a really easy target to hit, and you can just blow him up. I would say be a Mercy main, but then I wouldn't be able to play anything. There are so many Mercy mains. Like, she's the most popular character in Overwatch, isn't she? I just want to play well with Mercy. I want to be able to play support that isn't Lucio. Mercy is like 90% experience and game sense, honestly. There are a few quirks you can, or a few tricks you can learn, like for example bunny hopping. I'll try to show it. It's not that easy if you're not used to it. So the first thing you have to do is you go into your options menu right here. Go into control, you go into Mercy. Then there is, where's the thing I'm looking for? Target Guardian Angel off. That makes it so if you tap, it's only gonna make you fly to your target as long as you hold it. And that's very interesting because it allows you to bunny hop. And bunny hopping is just keeping your momentum. So you can do something like, I hope I don't mess it up like all the time now. I shouldn't in a video before. Fuck me. I used to be good at that. Don't worry, chat. Hold on. I hope they didn't patch that. Jesus. Listen. I swear to God I used to be good at that. There we go. That's a bunny hop. It's really just about hitting jump in the moment you hit the ground to maintain momentum. And that's like one of the intricacies of Mercy, but there isn't a lot of that. So just play her a lot and you'll eventually learn how and where to position yourself. Is anyone else seeing a lot of Bastion play? Around 3,000 to 3,500? I see him occasionally. Very situational pick though. Oh, can I play with you in Overwatch? If you're around my elo and you play on EU servers, it's possible that you run into me. Who requires more aim, Mercy or Symmetra? Definitely Mercy, because you can, like, pistol whipping is not all that, it's not a bad idea at times. I don't want to say, like, do it, because people are gonna be like, alright, you should be shooting people all the time, but that's not the point. There are situations where pistol whipping as Mercy can be very helpful. Especially when you have DPS who can't finish off a low health target, because here's the thing, I can sit here and heal that guy, but if he's not able to like shoot the guy that's damaging him, then we're not going to go any further. So I know this guy's not going to hit a shot, and that guy is low. I'm just going to pistol really quickly, because I know I can hit him. Playing at Silver has been great recently. My score setting at 18k and people actually want to win. I want 1.8k. It's always great when people actually play the game to try and win. Sim right click is really hard to land sometimes. Symmetra's right click is less about aim and it's more a prediction. Like, you want to do a lot of area of denial, which means that you purposefully spam your orbs into a certain direction to force the enemies to change their positioning. And sometimes you do that so they run into your teammates, other times you do it so they run into your turrets, stuff like that, or you try to defuse a push. So it's not really about aim, it's about predicting where they go and a lot of AOD. Hey, what's up, Banner? Hello. You can bunny jump with toggle to cancel it and then jump. That's an interesting tactic, never tried that. How do you feel about Rissa having the highest win rate from all tanks? She has the lowest pick rate too. See, that's kind of a funny thing you say that. Because if you just say, oh, Rissa has the highest win rate, people might think like, hey, she's a really good hero, when in reality she's just not played a lot. So what that tells me is that people are aware that she's a situational pick and they know when to play her. Like, there are some situations and some comps where she really exceeds, So if players understand that Orisa works really well in certain scenarios, they're only gonna play her then, and that's how that high win rate is eventually gonna come into being. Will you do more YouTube streaming after this? I'm considering it for sure, especially with the implementation of sponsorships, in case you guys didn't hear. There's gonna be a link in the description of this stream where you can find the YouTube gaming link, which, if you're not on YouTube gaming, it's essentially like YouTube, but just kind of looks a bit nicer, and you can find gaming streams and stuff like that. The difference between Twitch and YouTube when it comes to sponsorship versus Twitch subscription is that Twitch takes a very hefty cut off of my subscription, which means I don't make a lot of money for it. But if people decide to support me on YouTube and sponsor me here, I actually get a very significant amount of that money, and I don't have to adhere to any of the bullshit minimum payment stuff that Twitch requires me to do, because I just don't make enough money over there. If you're interested in watching me live stream, I do recommend following me on Twitch. You can find a link in the description as well, because that's where I just casually play usually. And I just do that for my own enjoyment and to hang out with people. The great thing about Twitch is that usually it attracts people who are very dedicated. So you usually have people come there and they're really chill. So I have like 10 people in chat on Twitch, but all these 10 people are very pleasant individuals, and I really enjoy streaming for that very reason. What do you think of the new Mercy, actually? I've seen a lot of people on YouTube complain that the new Mercy is worse than before. I personally disagree. Obviously, it's all opinion-based. In my opinion, she was far more frustrating to oppose before because of the nature of her hiding. And once she got out, she would be invincible for the rest, obviously, and she would just undo all your work. And I found that very frustrating to oppose. Now there's counterplay to Mercy. Like, sure, she's still gonna get her double resin if you don't react fast enough. But there's still counterplay to her being effective. What I've seen a lot is that, sure, the reses come out, like Mercy can get a ridiculous amount of reses if she's good, but what also a lot of Mercies do outside of like GM and top 500 is they res people completely out of position. So if people, rather than sighing that somebody got res, just focus like, hey, that McCree that you just res is completely out of position, you can just kill him again immediately. So there's counterplay, which is why I don't think it's a big deal. It's the same thing with Junkrat for me. I don't think Junkrat is a big deal because Pharmacy exists. Pharmacy is very easy to play and shuts Junkrat down really hard. So even when everybody's whining that Junkrat is too much of a problem, I never had a problem in my own games with him. But when it comes to playing her, I think she's way more fun now. Personally, I hated playing Mercy before. I now have a lot of fun playing her. Blue Skies, hey, what's up? Do you like Bratwurst? Yes, yes I do. New Mercy is definitely much better, but she needs a bit of a nerf or so. I think players need to get used to the new Mercy, and this is not a get used to it kind of deal like with Orisa. The problem with, not the problem, but the difference with Mercy is that she completely changes the way you play Overwatch, because before, if you get the first pick because somebody was out of position, that would mean you win the game. You win the engagement in like 9 out of 10 instances, because you go into the team fight with a 5-6 advantage. So what happens now is that she kind of erases that initial pick, and you have to play accordingly, you know? Team fights can get way more drawn out if your target priority is not good. So really what players have to learn in the new Mercy res meta, I guess, is to simply focus fire. Because if you focus fire, Mercy is not going to be anywhere near as effective as people make it out to be. And that is, well, my opinion obviously on that. Any tips for Zarya? Practice your tracking. Try to lower your sensitivity. Lower sensitivity usually really helps with just following targets. Seen a lot of Overwatch Central video where they complain about Mercy, like she's super OP, she kills Ana, she's only support needed with her buff, etc. Well, the problem is that it kind of... It's what the community thinks. Now, they don't just make that video and it changes people's opinion. It usually doesn't. It's just that they voice what a lot of people think, and I think there's definitely a place for content like that. So a lot of people feel that way, and I think it's okay that they voice it, because possibly somebody at Blizzard then sees those very popular videos, and they can maybe address it. They don't have to nerf anything, they can maybe just address it, be like, yo, just try to get used to it, or you can do this and that, you know? This stream made my day, actually. I'm glad you say that. I'm not a very good streamer, as you can probably tell. I'm Zarya in console. The biggest tip, I think, is to always stay with your team, definitely. Zarya is a big supporter for sure. She can 1v1 a lot of heroes if you're good, for sure, but you should not go out of your way to do that. What Zarya's great for is just supporting her team. She's a great mid-fight brawler for team fights. So once you start saving your teammates left, right, you can even body block with your own shield. You have high charge, you just annihilate the enemy team. So she's great. IMO. I got a new mouse mat today. I looked at it, I'm like, dude, this is a yoga mat, not a mouse mat. That's interesting. I feel like as the numerous play themselves, you are just more involved and active in the game, which is awesome. Here's a bit of background. Like, people on Twitch already know that, but I'm gonna let you guys in on something. I mentioned it briefly in I think a couple of videos that I have a bit of a problem with my wrists right now. So I'm wearing these wrist wraps to help alleviate the pain while I work on scripts to play the game. I have not been able to play a lot of Overwatch recently, and here's what's going on. So you see that bot target, right? And you see my crosshair right on him, no problem. My problem right now is that if I need to make fine adjustments of just like, you know, not even half an inch, then this is where I have trouble. I usually shoot over, my flicks don't manage to get on point, and I hope that I can alleviate that soon, because right now when I play, and I don't play like Mercy or something, if I play Zenyatta for example, I whiff all my shots. Like you can see, my flicks are really not on point here. And that's been a very big problem for me. And I feel like it's not fair for my team to have to endure me. Like, my rating is gonna suffer, my performance is gonna suffer, their rating is gonna suffer, and I also don't have fun playing with the risks that hurt me, you know? It's been better, like, I've had that for about a week now, week and a half, I think, and it's been getting better since I kind of took a step back, but it also means that I'm running very low on gameplay. So, actually, to see you replying to your followers and subscribers is fantastic. I mean, I can still get away with it. I don't have that big of a following, so it's not that difficult. I do have to admit that chat went by pretty fast, so I did miss a few questions. If you have anything important you want to ask me, if it's like you're dying to have me answer that, then you can repost it if the chat scrolled too far already and I didn't see it. Alternatively, if you want to give me money, you can use Super Chat, I guess, but Super Chat is kind of a waste of money. You can also donate to me. Hashtag sellout nation. I need one more sponsor to fucking get an emote slot. Does anyone else think it's stupid that you need 2 sponsors on YouTube to get your first emote slot? That's so dumb. Anyway, have you seen Mindfuzz's content? UNT probably are probably the 2, for lack of better term, realist content creators for the game. I've heard of Skyline. Apparently Skyline makes similar content to me. And Nateson as well. I've heard Skyline, me, and Nateson thrown into the same bucket a few times by now, but I've never heard of Mindfuzz, to be honest. What kind of hero would you design for Overwatch? A healer. I'm not just saying that because I'm a support main. I think we genuinely need more support characters in this game. So I think what I would create is a support character that maybe does healing over time. Kind of like Healing Druid in World of Warcraft. Maybe some sort of potion character that like throws potion with AoE healing over time and dots, kind of like Anna. This is something I think I would do. Do you think 3-tank meta is coming back? I hope. I've seen 3-tank run quite frequently, actually. It can definitely work, I think. I don't know if it's gonna be super popular. I think if you want to know like meta predictions, you should definitely be asking pro players or high-ranked ladder players, because usually what they start with eventually makes its way down on the ladder as well. So I'm kind of like, what would you? I usually call myself average, but people always give me shit because I'm in Masters, and they're like, that's not average. So I guess higher up average or something. I'm definitely not great at the game. I'm just dedicated. So my opinion on like meta prediction is really not worth a whole lot. You and Skyline are great. Thanks for the honest content and objective analysis. Not everything I do is objective. There's a lot of opinion involved, but I'm glad you like them. I made this account way before Twitch. Interesting, Sushi Cat. You're pro Genji? Interesting. Talent support and talenting, that'll be great, to be honest. Without Anna, I don't think 3-tank will come back too strong, but Valkyrie with the chain heals, I don't know. I think the strength of triple tank right now is actually burst sustain. So what I've seen run was a lot of variations, actually. I've seen Hog Diva and Zarya, for example, which in itself has a lot of sustain and burst with the hook and mini missile combo. And obviously Rotok can heal himself, you have defense matrix, and you have Zarya bubbles. So that triple tank setup has a lot of sustain. But I have also seen variations with Reinhardt. Like, people are experimenting right now, and I think that's very exciting. Because you don't just have this situation where, like, alright, everybody, we need an Ana, we need a Roadhog, we need a D.Va, and we need a Reinhardt, and just everybody plays that. I think that's very boring. Right now, people are like, alright, let's see what we can make work, and they just try crazy combos, and I love that. And people even do that up in, like, in the high ratings. What I spend a lot of time doing is watching live streams, to be honest. Especially now that I can't play as much with my wrists, I spend a lot of time watching live streams. So... there's that. What do you think about the idea that you don't actually have to be good at the game to climb rank? You have to be good at something. I am convinced that this is always the case. You might not be good at something that's like universally applicable. But as long as you're good on something, you can climb. No Mercy has affected the community. People now get so mad if there's no Mercy or if you don't switch to her. I've seen that too. People get like really upset. They're like, oh, we don't have a Mercy, we'll lose now. I've seen standard dive comp work just as fine as before. Like, if people got their heads out their asses and just realized that dive is still really, really strong and a good dive shuts down the Mercy, then I think we'd have far less problems. Like, Lucio Zenyatta works phenomenal, no problem. It's just that it's kind of like Ana pre-nerf, you know? Back in the day, Ana had so much healing that everybody saw it as a get-out-of-jail-free card. You know, people would overextend because they know, oh, Ana can just heal me back up. Like, maybe I'm a tank, like triple tank meta, I have a lot of health, Ana can easily heal me back up. Ana gets nerfed, suddenly her healing output is limited. People still overextend because they use it and they just die over and over again. And I think now we're getting the same mentality because people are like, oh, I can just overextend, try to get a kill because my Mercy's gonna res me. And if they nerf the res, people are gonna drop ratings again, just like with the Ana nerf. People are gonna drop ratings because they will overextend and not realize that the nerf has affected the way this kind of comp is to be played. Mercy can't res if she's dead, exactly. What do you think about the no aim, no brain, I'm a Winston main joke? I mean, it's a joke. Not much to think about it. It's an okay joke. I sometimes use it myself. It's a nice meme. Have you seen NRG's Overwatch League roster yet? They're looking pretty good. No, actually. I only see what people show me on Discord, to be honest. Or whatever I see on Twitter. Like, I've seen that there's gonna be skins for the Shanghai Dragons Overwatch League team, which look pretty neat, gotta be honest. Like, I think if we have team-specific skins, that's gonna be great for color schemes alone. But also to just show your dedication, I guess, for your team, you know? Be like, hey, I like the Shanghai Dragons, boom, I got the skin. Worked really hard for it. That's gonna be great. Give me one sec here, guys. Okay. My voice is already getting really raspy. I did a voiceover before I started streaming, so my voice is already kind of strained. Give me a sec. I feel like one team running a Mercy and the other isn't really puts you on the back foot. It depends on how you play. Again, the thing is that you're playing high sustain versus low sustain, but the low sustain comp can have the advantage of high mobility or high DPS. So, if your target priority is on spot, team fights end very quickly. A good dive comp annihilates Mercy. But playing a good dive is not easy, which is why people don't do it. What are we talking about? Dive nerd? Well, just kind of everything. I'm just hanging out with you, trying to answer some questions people have on their minds. No aim, no brain, I'm XQC, the stupid Winston man. I gotta be honest, sometimes watching XQC get angry is really entertaining. I hate when he does shit like abuse the report system and he's like, oh, reports don't do anything. It's like, of course reports don't do anything if your stupid ass keeps fucking spamming retarded false reports in there. And then some poor customer support guy is gonna sit there and be like, oh, it's another XQC report, it doesn't mean anything. Don't influx the report system with false reports and it's gonna do something. Dive has been indirectly nerfed in a way. By what though? Do you think turning off the aim assist on console would help in the long run? I don't think so. I think aim assist on console is inherently necessary. Are you gonna play the game? I'm gonna be honest, if I play the game, it's gonna be really difficult for me to reach out. I mean, I called this stream Overwatch Hangout because I'm just gonna sit here for a bit. I want to test the waters here a bit, you know? I want to see, like, how many people show up, what are you guys like, do you have any questions, and see if, from a technical standpoint, everything works out. So far, I'm not dropping any frames. I don't have a massive ping problem right now. And it seems that none of you are complaining about buffering or anything either. So this is kind of a test run. It's going to be a short stream, a test run, maybe an hour and a half. We're just going to talk a bit here. Game lasted too long. Come on, bro. Just going to do it again then. I have a major headache and I still need to edit a ton. So I got to leave, y'all. But it was nice hearing your wonderful voice. Hey, good luck with your editing. And thanks for hanging out. No need for full dive. A good diva and Zen Disco can easily take down Mercy. Yep. Agreed. Like, even if you play in a duo, that can already annihilate a good bit. Hey, Cliff, where and how did you become proficient at English? I Chaosify from Karku stream, in case you remember me. Hey, what's up, dude? How I got my proficiency. It's an interesting word. Legit talk, I taught English myself. In Germany, we have mandatory English classes starting from 4th grade, and mine were absolute garbage. Our teacher was terrible, and I taught myself by watching MTV and playing video games. The first game that really had me wanting to learn English was Tales of Symphonia, and that is still my favorite game today. For a few years, I've played through Tales of Symphonia at least once a year, and I think my first run through that was a couple hundred hours. So, just taught it myself, watched a lot of MTV, played a lot of video games. I'm gonna try Overwatch on PS4. I want to get a PS4 Pro for Christmas if I can afford it and if it's gonna go on sale. I've been waiting all year for that bloody thing to get on sale, but I'm fairly certain it's gonna go on sale for Christmas, and I want to get that PS4 Pro. However, I'm not gonna be playing Overwatch. Like, if I play console's gonna be for me chilling, and I associate Overwatch with work, which is why I'm not planning to buy Overwatch for console. I'm really glad to see you replying to my question. Thanks a lot. Don't worry. I know I'm missing a lot of questions here. I apologize if I miss your question. I'm not staring at chat the entire time. When I answer a question, I just look at my main monitor so I can focus on answering the question. So if I miss your question and you're dying to have me answer your question and it scrolled past your question already, feel free to ask it again. But yeah, I'm trying to answer as many questions as possible. I thought you're French, dude. That's interesting. I was forced to have French classes in high school, and I was terrible at it. Like, legit, our first French teacher was really strict, so all of us were, like, learning a lot of French. But eventually she retired, and then we had a substitute French teacher. And I swear to God, every year we would, like, learn the same shit, because after the summer vacation, we forgot everything. So our teacher was like, alright, I guess we're gonna do the same thing again so you guys remember the basics. And eventually we all just forgot everything, so I don't even know anything in French anymore. Did you used to watch Game 1? Dude, I love that. I would be staying up late to watch Game 1. I would stay up late on a school night to watch Game 1 back in the day, my dude. The thing that stinks about Overwatch is that the game itself, design, art style, gameplay, etc. is amazing. Unfortunately, it has one of the worst game communities I've ever seen. Not even exaggerating. The problem with... It's not Overwatch's fault per se, it's just that happens with every single game that has a massive community. What you will usually find in small communities is that these small communities are more dedicated to the game, and they're more dedicated to wanting the game's community to grow, so they're usually more friendly. But in massive communities, you can't filter all of them out. It's not possible. Like, apology. For Dota, League of Legends, Overwatch, CSGO, all of these games have the reputation of having terrible communities because they're competitive, very successful, very popular games. You ever plan to play Splatoon? I'm not a Nintendo fan, to be honest. I'm not a Nintendo fan, so not really. I've also heard really bad things about the game's netcode. Have you played Rainbow Six Siege? Rainbow Six Siege Com? Oh, Six Siege, yeah. I've a couple of hundred hours on Siege. I think about 150 hours on Siege. I love that game. Hands down, Siege is my favorite shooter of all times. Right now. I say of all times, I mean currently. My favorite shooter. I bought the first season pass. I bought the second season pass. I don't play it anywhere near as much as I should. But I think the game is amazing. The gunplay is great. And I think everything surrounding the game is great. But again, it's a competitive game. You will find bad apples. I've had a lot of good experiences with the community in Siege, so I love the game. I don't play it anywhere near as much as I should, but I think it's a great game. Do you pay attention to Overwatch League? If yes, what's your favorite team? I have not. I have yet to pay attention to that, to be honest. I thought it was still in its infancy, and I kind of want them to figure out the quirks and stuff, and have it be more of a pleasant experience to follow when they have everything said and done. I just lost 250 SR from flexing. Feels good, man. No, I'm sorry, dude. Have you played Dirty Bomb? I don't want to bullshit you. Let me just pull up my Steam real quick. I have 905 hours on Dirty Bomb. So, there's that. I played Dirty Bomb before I played Overwatch, but eventually got tired of their development. For anyone who played way back in the day, like OG Dirty Bomb, the development was awful. The player base was very dedicated because the base gunplay of the game is phenomenal. But the development, like, they very obviously did not care about their community. And partnering with Nexon was the worst thing they could do. Let me just say, it didn't feel like they cared for the community until the community was gone. I mean, like, a big part of the community left because they kept implementing really dumb stuff that we hated. And would just, like, a big fuck you in our faces, essentially. We will be gone for about half an hour. Could you at least not stop just when I come back? Thanks, have a good night, day, whatever your time zone is, everyone. I'm gonna be here at least half an hour more. I'm considering half an hour to an hour. We'll see how much chat wants to know. I'm just gonna be here, like, again, for the hangout. We can do games eventually. Today is not gonna be the day. Again, for everybody who didn't hear it, I have a problem with my wrists right now, so we're just gonna do a hangout, answer some questions, and chill for a bit. What's the game you look forward to the most in the rest of 2018? Let me pull up my Steam wishlist for that, because this is where I keep games I'm looking forward to playing. The Elder Scrolls Morrowind, I am yet to play that because it doesn't run on my PC. It's a problem I have to resolve. I didn't have time to. Assassin's Creed Origins, Dragon Quest Heroes for the PlayStation, I would love to play that. Middle-earth Shadow of War, maybe Wolfenstein the New Colossus, maybe Call of Duty World War II. And I think that's about it. What so do you play on? I usually play on the U. Sometimes I switch on an A when I play anything that's not hit scan, because then I can bear the ping. But usually I play on EU. Can I be a moderator? No, I'm sorry. I have a team of moderators. If I need more moderators, I usually go to people that I know can moderate. Have you even won FFA as a support? If not, can you try? I've won FFA before, but not as a support. I just don't think it's fun. Because, I mean, I guess if you're into challenges, it can be fun, but for me, I feel like I put myself at a severe disadvantage. So, for me, that's not fun. I'm kind of try-hard in that regard, I gotta be honest. How do you feel about PUBG being the Overwatch killer? It's not. People claim that don't know what they're talking about. Team Kappa. Let's show what's your SR right now. Social. Career profile. We decayed from 4004 to 3508. The plan is to get the decay out of the way before the season's over. Literally what I've done on my main account is just, as you can see, 8 games won. I just played my placements and then played like 2 games to get GM and didn't touch this account again. We can check my alt account. Though that one also suffered a bit from decay. Where is it? Toxic, here we go. That one was on 4... I think we decayed from 3,700. We had a really bad losing streak. That account has like a 42% win rate right now. Shock. Hey, Freaky. Shocky, thank you for your $2 super chat. Appreciate it. Hey, Freaky. Why are you not mod here? Did you not want to be mod here? Do you believe in mooing chickens? Anything is possible. Remember that one challenge I put myself to get first place with every hero? Did you work? Did that work? Did you do it? There it is.
Hey, frick you, carrot.
I don't know why that took so long to appear. But hey, thank you for your $2 super chat. Shaman. Every dollar helps. Do you think Overwatch is dying? No. Alright, that was the PUBG question. PUBG and Overwatch are fundamentally different games. The thing with PUBG is that it launched at a time where Overwatch players were very tired of the stale meta. So they picked up PUBG because it was a very successful and very popular game. If you look at PUBG now, PUBG gets a lot of criticism for being slow, for being boring. Like, people already get bored of PUBG which I'm certain the developers can easily alleviate just by constantly updating the game. So it's not a big problem for PUBG by any means. But the thing with Overwatch is that Overwatch is still extremely popular and extremely successful. And yes, the competitive scene is getting a lot of criticism, and that because it should. There are a lot of things that are not going right. There are a lot of things that should be addressed, and a lot of players are just very tired of that not being addressed. So I can see where the criticism comes from. What you guys have to understand is that a game is not dead because people complain about it, and I'm sure a lot of you know that. But a game is not dead only because people complain about it. The moment people stop talking about it, that's when the game is in serious trouble. Thoughts on Fortnite Battle Royale? My first thought was that, oh no, they're gonna neglect the development on the base game now. But I don't play that much Fortnite anymore, so I don't really care that much. What I heard from other people was that Fortnite BR feels great, feels smooth, feels right. What was funny was that I heard people say that, like, Epic Games just kind of shat BR out of Fortnite, out of nowhere, without that much effort, and it's already better than PUBG. Like, just from, like, responsiveness and polishing factor. Obviously, PUBG still has its own merits and its own reasons for why people play it, so... I think competition is great. I think that it's great that there are multiple games in the market. For everyone who wants, like, essentially PUBG with building, I guess Fortnite is exactly the game you've been looking for. And there are a lot of good reasons to be playing that game. I mean, it's free to play too, so... Do you believe in the console master is PC gold meme? Not necessarily. Here's the thing, right? Mechanics are never gonna be unimportant. But if you're like a GM on console, you're probably gonna get Diamond Master very easily just based on your experience and game sense and knowledge. And then the only thing that's gonna keep you from getting like High Master GM is gonna be learning the mechanics, and that's just a matter of time. I mean, it's right that if you swap, sure, like, you're not gonna be the same rank day one you do your placement matches. There's obviously a difference, but I think you can get there easily, eventually, if you just put in the time and the effort. It's just that you have to get used to the gameplay and different. Like, Overwatch on console, I'd imagine, is probably a way slower than on PC. Because with any game, if you compare PC and console, is that people have much faster reaction time. You have to, like, slowly turn your bumpers around to, like, be able to do your movement stuff. On PC, it's like people go like this, you know? Like, they react very quickly and they just flick shot a lot. And the game is very hectic. Some heroes are not as viable as on console. But again, just all... If you're a good Overwatch player on console, you're gonna get used to that stuff really quickly. Can I get to Diamond? No, Genji, you cannot get to Diamond. Love your videos, thank you. Glad you enjoy them. I'm sorry, my voice is a bit raspy. Can you change the donation sound to a Minecraft parody? You don't even know what my donation sound is. That was a super chat earlier. Plasma Blast, hello. Is it true that Silver in EU is like Plat in NA? Because people say EU is harder. I wouldn't know. I've never played EU. Don't take this as like hard evidence. I'm just telling you from my experience. I've played a lot on NA and I played a lot on EU. And I'll be honest, chat. Whenever I had trouble getting my GM back, I just played on NA. Because it was actually easier. It's easier for the one reason that Overwatch is a very team-focused game. And people usually have more of a desire to cooperate on NA because there's no language barrier. So there's that, but there's also the fact that people on NA make really weird misplays according to my experience. Like, they are far less game sense based than EU. Like, EU sees a lot of stuff. Like, people on EU react very quickly to stuff that you do. Like, for example, if that, like, your team is standing here behind a Reinhardt, on NA, I can literally, like, walk up here and be like, hey, what's up, sucker? Scatter. And I would miss and get killed. No, but you can eventually just, like, flanking is very viable on NA from my experience. On EU, it's like, you come here and, like, you pull back your bow and, like, some motherfucker's gonna hear that and just shoot you in the face. So, NA relies more on people calling things out. EU just hears more things on their own. They're very mechanic-driven and very game sense-based. Get yourself some water. I do have a glass of liquid next to me. I take a sip from it occasionally. I've done the VO before. God, my voice hates me right now. Play Dirty Bomb? Nah, I'm good. It's known that Mercy is a must pick right now, so as an anime, I'd like to ask how big the disadvantages of having 2 main healers and no off healers are. There are comps where it can work, but I think it's gonna be something that's more viable in low elo than high elo. Because if you have Mercy as a main healer, then there's just a lot of merit to having something like a speed boost or a Discord orb, and also a defensive ultimate. The problem with having Ana and Mercy on your team is simply that you will lack the defensive ultimate and the offensive capabilities of just speed boosting and or Discord orbing. So I don't think she's a must pick by any means. I've discussed it earlier. A good dive or even a good duo of like Zen D.Va can absolutely annihilate Mercy. It's just that the new Mercy forces target priority to be on spot, and people are not very good at priority targets, even up in like GM top 500. That happens a lot. What's your main? My main is Zenyatta, and I'm kinda scared of saying that because I haven't been playing a lot of Overwatch, and whenever I have been playing, I've just been kind of playing meme characters rather than my main. So I'm kind of rusting Zen. Kappa Cliff. Dude, that's such an old meme, the old Kappa Cliff. Thought so because I play in high silver on EU and watch people who play on NA and Diamond Plat, and I thought that's literally what happened in my games. What the fuck? I don't think it's as harsh as to say that silver EU is Plat in NA. It's just that it's different playstyles, different mentalities, you know? For me, again, if you're aware of it, you can take advantage of it, so... Whenever I was struggling with getting my GM back, I just played a few games on NA. And usually got it back pretty quickly. Grüß aus Österreich. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I should play a little Zenyatta right now. Alright, sure. If you could suggest one improvement for how Blizzard handles Overwatch, what would it be? If I could only ask for one thing, I would say implement a dedicated team queue. Make people dedicate a stack of 6 players at the start of the season and be like, alright, for this entire season you can only queue up with these 6 people. If one of your team is not able to make it, you're not going to get a subsidy. You can only play with these 6 people. And then build the whole game like the way it's supposed to be. Where the team is gonna get rewarded. It's not gonna affect your solo queue rating, and you can have a fucking gold ranked player on a Mercy in your team if you want to, with everybody else being on GM. Because what matters at the end of the day in that environment will be how the team plays as a whole. And I think that's how it should be, in my opinion. So yeah. That's the one thing I would like to have implemented. Old Roadhog on new, hybrid of both. There are some things I like about the new Roadhog, there are some things I don't like. I think that there was a state with the old Roadhog where he was completely fine, and they just kept changing him, so they could bring that back. But I think if they made a bit of a hybrid, then people would stop bitching, essentially. But in essence, I think he's not terrible right now, he's not amazing right now, he's playable. And I guess people should they should just stop tinkering with him, probably. EU NA, have you played in Korea? No, I have not. The ping would kill me. So excited that you're live. Hey, I'm glad somebody is. You really did it. You're the reason I main Zenyatta. Feels good, man. The world could always use more Zenyatta mains. Zenyatta's like a hella fun character to play for me. As you can see, my aim is very rusty. But he's incredibly fun. Splatoon 2 has separate ratings for each card mode. Could Overwatch do this? Sadly, I do not know how Splatoon handles things exactly. I definitely think it's kind of a joke that you have a team-based game and you have zero incentive to 6-stack. You even feel punished for 6-stacking, which is just so bizarre. So, I think they should call it some like competitive league or something, and then just have people dedicate 6 people at the start of the season and be like, yo, you can only play with these people. That would be, I think that would be amazing. And that would definitely motivate me to play more as well. I don't think you even can make a hybrid of old and new Roadhog, give that old hog was definitely by the ability to do 200 damage with hook left. A hybrid doing that would be old hog, a hybrid not doing that wouldn't be a hybrid. You're right. Just talking on my ass. I guess what I meant was just bring back the old Roadhog where he was fine. Like, where he could still one-shot people, but he just didn't pull people through walls anymore. I think that's why he was fine. You're absolutely right. Saying a hybrid, that was a stupid thing. What pull of heroes or a specific hero did you play to get to Diamond? To get to Diamond, God, my voice is hating me right now. To get to Diamond, I specifically played Zenyatta and Ana exclusively. Occasionally threw in the Lucio, but other than that, just Zen and Ana. And the great thing about playing Zen Ana, at least back in the day in Platinum, was that you can have a massive impact. Back in the day, before Ana was a heal bot, like right now you're just kind of a left-click bot, spamming heals, and occasionally you're supposed to do some clutch sleeps. But back in the day, in low elo, playing Ana was like really versatile. The skill ceiling of Ana was being able to just tell when you should be doing healing, when you should be doing damage, finishing off targets, when you should be using your nade offensively or defensively, when you should be sleeping to disrupt a team fight, or when you should be sleeping for like, or hold your sleep for a clutch moment. There were so many decisions to be made with Ana, and I think that's now exclusive to like top 500. Everywhere else, she's just kind of expected to be a heal bot. With Zenyatta, it's just that if you're a good Zenyatta, if you're a good Zenyatta that knows like positioning, that can land a decent amount of shots, you can annihilate people in low elo, absolutely. Because people make a lot of mistakes. Like you can just charge up your right click and be like, "Yo, sucker, you're effing dead right now." You can get so many corner picks just by holding your right click. So it's kind of insane. I honestly think Zenyatta is one of the best heroes to get out of low elo, because he teaches you positioning, he teaches you prediction, and he teaches you ability management. Like when you should be prioritizing reload over healing somebody, when you should be discording, when you should be shooting, when you should be disengaging. I think Zenyatta can teach you a lot of things. So I think he's one of the best picks for low elo. What current competitive rank are you? I am 3,600 on my old account. I think I still got a few points left of decay, so it's probably like 3.7-ish. And my main account decayed from 4k to 3.5 right now, which I want to play back up before the season's over. But you prefer the old mode or the new one? The new one, 100% the new one. Platinum is toxic, the entire ladder is toxic. YouTube stream dance game? Dude, don't dance game at my stream. How dare you, sir? Even though role select has mostly been dismissed at this point, do you think selecting your preferred role for a match could work? Only if you enforce players only playing these roles. The problem is that people will pick DPS because they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna carry my game." And a lot of DPS players who have that mentality are actually really bad DPS. And sometimes you can argue with them, you know? Sometimes you can be like, "Yo, can I try DPS? Can you like play Lucio or whatever?" And do better than them. But if you do a role select where you can only pick the heroes that you queue up for, oh boy, DPS is gonna be a very frustrating role to deal with as a not DPS player. You have the Genji Sentai or Blackwood skin. I have the Blackwood skin. Didn't care for the Sentai. Echo Flex is toxic XD. We are all toxic. Are PC custom games good? Cause consoles aren't really helpful or fun, IMO. I think there are some gems to be had. I personally hate having to go out of my way to find these games, because usually it's like you either find a lobby where there are like only 2 slots missing and then you get in there and have fun, or you sit there and just kind of wait for it to start, and it usually ends up not being worth the wait. So I really don't use custom games. Congrats, man. I remember when you had 8k subs, now 25k. Well played, thank you. It's been quite the journey, I'll be honest. People want cleavage shots, Cliff. There's no face cam, no cleavage here. Dude, we're gonna have to cut the stream soon. It's gonna be like, I think another 10-ish, 15-ish minutes, and then we're gonna call the stream. Was nice hangout so far, though. If you guys want more live streams, follow me on Twitch. You can find the link in the description below. If you want to support me, sponsor me. You can sponsor me on YouTube for $5 a month. That really tremendously helps the channel out. And you get a little pop-up on the stream. It's fine, just $5 a month. Yeah. Have you guys seen the new May skin coming out? Dude, that new May skin look lit. I want more of these, like, team-based skins. I found Cliff whenever he made his How to Find Your Main video where he played Ana. That video is so old. It's my most successful video, though. That's 1.2 million views right now. It's such a bad video, though. It's like the videos that you don't put a lot of like work into editing wise sometimes end up really blowing up, and then you put like fucking 9 hours of editing into a video and it gets like fucking 6k views or something. It's so depressing. What is your city? Whoa there, bud. What about you ask me out in the drink first? Flex or one trick? If you've seen the video, then you would know that it's a hybrid of both. Is this still a test stream? Yeah. If this wasn't a test stream, I'd probably be actually playing like matches. I'm just in the fucking training range since an hour already. Or close to an hour. What's your opinion on boosting? That should never be a thing. Boosting should be immediately dealt with as fast as possible. I hate it. Like, I've seen streamers literally just spend their days boosting accounts of their friends into like GM. Master GM. And as somebody who played in GM for a good while, I think like... What was that? Transition, season 4 to 5. This is where I played like a lot of GM games. It was so frustrating. There were so many people who like didn't know how to play because they were under the impression that, oh, if I wasn't in ELO hell, then I'd be a GM player. They get boosted to GM and they just don't know how to play. This is why I stopped really aspiring to be a GM player. Like, don't get me wrong, chat. If I wanted to be a GM player, I would have to put far more work into getting better at the game. Like, so far my mechanics are painfully lacking for GM. And I make way too many misplays. The best thing I can do is like touch Grandmaster. My peak is like 4094 or something. So that's like as good as I could get. And usually I just care about like touching GM, get my free gold gun, and then just play my high master game as usual. Because you just encounter so much bullshit, like all the one-trick streamers and all the boosted players and all the people on their Smurf accounts who just don't care. You know, there are phenomenal players out there on their Smurf accounts throwing games because they don't care, because it's not their main account. Playing in GM, like a low GM in particular, is very frustrating for me. What would be your strongest tank? I think Zarya. My Orisa is okay, but I think Zarya is my strongest one. With that said, I'm not a very good Zarya. So that tells you about how good I am on tank. I think I can pull off like a low master Zarya. I can either flex Zarya or play like low master Zarya. So, not very good. When playing Zen and a tracer flanks you, is crouch spamming the best method, or what do? Crouch spamming does very little against tracer because your hitbox is massive. Like, you do this and it doesn't matter if she shoots like your chest or your knees, it will still count as a headshot. The best thing you can do is keep your own aim as steady as possible and just ding her. Ding her just means headshot her. Usually if you land one headshot, low elo tracers are gonna just recall. You're gonna force recall really quickly. And that's what you want to do. You either kill her or you force recall. And usually when you force recall, she's not gonna re-engage on low elo. So you just need to land either like 2 body shots or 1 headshot to make her fuck off. In high elo, you need to kill her. If you play against like a GM top 500 tracer, by God, you're gonna have to kill her because she's not gonna let you go, as I said. I was thinking instead of locking your role, you could tell the game what role you like the most, and you could be matched with other players who could work with you. No 3 support mates, no 4 DPS mates, etc. I think something like that, to that capacity, should be a thing. Personally. Because it's frustrating, like, I watched Echo stream last night, and he had like 4 Mercy one-tricks on his team. It's like, how is that even a thing? The enemy team has like 5 DPS mates, and he had like 4 Mercy one-tricks. Why not spread them out a bit? That's because the game cares more about equalizing the skill levels than paying attention to what the players choose, you know? I think that there should be at least a bit more of a emphasis on what heroes the players choose. I think they'll be really improving the experience of many players. And ideally, they would also look at how many hours you would play like, let's say, Mercy, so they don't put 5 Mercy mates on the same team. I've had that happen before. I love Orisa, though she's immobile and sucks a lot in crowd control as a tank. There are places where she's pretty good, but making her work can be a bit of a pain for sure. I'm out of drink it just right now. God damn it. Are there any other games you enjoy playing or enjoyed playing? Sure, Rainbow Six Siege, great game. I'm gonna be honest, chat, like this channel started as a Let's Play channel. I used to play far more games than I do now. I kind of just play Overwatch, to be honest. I'm waiting for more stuff to come out that catch my attention. I tried Fortnite, I tried Dauntless. None of them really sticked. I don't know. I'm just yet to wait to have something that I can really just, you know, dig deep into and be like, yo, that's gonna be my... God damn it, that's gonna be my time sink right now. Right-click Genji spam against Cliff Zen. Yeah, that's the best thing you can do. If I love you, thank you. Give me money. How did you guys like the Zarya Samura comic? I thought it was really poorly written, personally. Personally, I thought it was really poorly written. Was not a fun read for me. Have you tried PUBG? I don't like VR games, so I didn't try it. I own Fortnite, and Fortnite BR is free to play, and I did not play it. I just don't care for BR games personally. Favorite map, probably King's Row. King's Row, Eichenwald, I love those maps. I love hybrid maps in general. I think every other map should just go. I just want to play exclusively hybrid maps. You can tell my voice getting super raspy, right? So we're just gonna give it another like 5-ish minutes. Do you think the Mercy changes are more of a buff or a nerf to her in high elo? And is her must pick rate increasing in high elo as well? But you have to understand that Mercy was the most popular character before she got changed. And now she got a huge like workover. What I want to see is numbers of like any hero that had a huge overhaul. Because I'm pretty sure that for every single hero that had a huge overhaul, the numbers spiked for a while. And if you take a hero that's as popular as Mercy and give her a huge overhaul, of course her pick rate is gonna be insanely high. I don't think that's an indication for her being a must pick. It's just the perception that she's a must pick. This is why context is always so important to me. You know, channels make videos being like, Mercy has a literal 99% pick rate. She's a must pick now. It's like, no, she's not, but you just made people think that she is. What you can say is that players perceive her to be a must pick. That is accurate. It's entirely accurate. What is your current rank up? People are gonna ask that all day. Good that I'm almost done here. 37, 36-ish on my alt account. 4k decay to 35 on my main account. Least favorite character? You mean like opposing or playing? Least favorite character playing? Probably Roadhog. Not big in Roadhog. Least favorite character opposing? It's probably a tie between Genji and Widowmaker. I hate opposing Genjis and Widowmakers. I feel like those characters are inherently sweaty tryhards. It's really annoying to oppose them, even in quick play. Especially in quick play. I hate Numbani, love Eichenwald, and King's Row though. Dude. Numbani I have like a love-hate relationship. Because I think the map itself isn't bad, but I had some very frustrating experiences on it. And will you do a 24-hour top Bronze to GM challenge? I'm not doing Bronze to GM. I think Bronze to GM challenges are really stupid. Like, they prove nothing. You just shitstomp on people who are way worse than you. Like, what are you proving to anybody by being a GM player and shitting on Bronze to Masters? It's kind of stupid. And I'm not even gonna be like, no offense to people who did it. Yes, all the offense to people who did it. You're stupid. And you shouldn't have done that. I'm offended, Cliff. Good. F you, Genji. I'm going. See how things are? Alright, no problem. Have a nice evening, Plasma. You can get banned from doing that as well. I'm glad. Steve got his Bronze to GM account banned by Blizzard, so yeah, best not to. That's good. I'm glad they take action against that. Like, especially because it's such a popular thing for like YouTubers and streamers. That should be a bannable offense. You actually got 2 accounts banned. That's interesting. Anyway, any get out of plat tips? Watch your own gameplay. Record your gameplay, look at what you're doing wrong, and improve on what you're doing wrong. Because there are things you're doing wrong. Top 3 things Overwatch needs to introduce, in your opinion. Things that can be anything from Heroes Gameplay Social. Number 1, a clan feature. Number 2, 6-stack only queue. And number 3, more supports. You know what? That's a really good topic. I might even make a video on that. Let me just put that into the doc. That is a really good idea for a video. I'm just gonna steal that from you real quick. Top 3 things Overwatch needs to introduce. Thanks for the idea. I'm just gonna feel free to steal that because I'm a very uncreative person. Let me just pull up chat again. Here we go. Fun supports? I think the current supports are fun. Like, I think Mercy is way more fun now. I think Lucio is super fun, Zenyatta is super fun, and in a very memey way, Symmetra is fun as well. But yeah, a clan feature, I would love to see a clan feature, and a dedicated 6-stack. What was the last thing I said? Yeah, more supports. I can't wait to see that video. I'm gonna give you guys a bit of a sneak peek. I'm not gonna show you anything, but I'm gonna tell you. The next video is gonna be the problem with transparency. It's gonna be something like that. Transparency in game development. You'll see a title along those lines. It's gonna reference the post from Jeff Kaplan where he addressed the community in the name of his development team. And it's gonna talk about the downsides of being transparent with your community, as addressed in that post. So I hope you look forward to that, because I just did the VO. I'm probably gonna do some late night editing, and that's gonna go live tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central European Summer Time. As always, every other day, 8 p.m. My worst nightmare, Genji, I need healing. XQC called me a troll. Or a soap bar Mercy made by... Dude. The thing is, I feel sorry for people who queue into XQC because he's really not a pleasant person to have on your team. But like, as a streamer, watching me get angry is just super funny sometimes. I play Lucio Symmetra, so I like it when people play Mercy alongside me. I mean, now that got like very viable. Usually I thought that Mercy Sim was very iffy. I preferred having Ana, but I think now that can work out really well because of the sheer amount of margin for error that this comp has. That's very interesting, I think. The only thing I enjoy about XQC is watching him rage for no reason. He does that a lot. He got akimbo hammers and broke his sword keyboard. That's what I'm talking, dude. That's what I'm talking about. It's so funny. Bots everywhere. Dude. God damn it. XQC is such a beta. You know how you can tell that somebody's a beta? He starts yelling at people, and in order to have the last word in the discussion, he leaves immediately. Like, he calls people bots and leaves immediately, so people can't, like, call him anything in return. And that's just such a beta move. But disregarding that, he's super funny to watch when he gets angry. And I'm pretty sure he embraced that. I am 100% certain that XQC overreacts on purpose because he knows people want to see that. And I think that's a smart marketing move. I always like how you design your thumbnails. Great stuff, man. Thanks. It's very uncreative. I have to be honest, my thumbnails are very uncreative. But I'm just trying to make them look clean because I'm not a very artistic person. So it's difficult for me to come up with like good thumbnail ideas. So I just try to make them look clean. That's like the extent of goals I have. XQC Alpha when you're watching for entertainment. Have you seen Cuphead for 20 euros? It seems quite good. I've watched Tim play this morning. Cuphead. I think the game itself looks phenomenal when it comes to like the presentation aesthetic. And it probably is a great game, but it's not a game for me. I'm not into platformers and it looks very difficult, and I think I would just rage my head out. Is there any other roles you would like to see or hero idea that you may seen or thought of which exists you? Which excites you? I think the idea of effects over time needs to be more of a thing, personally. I like for example, I think that Nano Boost is pretty cool. It's a pretty cool ability. Because it's like, alright, you have like X seconds to like do a thing now. Or something like Widow's Mine, you know? It's like, you don't have to just land your shots the entire time. And I think that damage over time abilities are going to be more prominent because Overwatch is trying to appeal to people who are not mechanically strong as well. You have a lot of characters in the game that are not very aim reliant, so I think there's going to be a character eventually that has a damage over time ability as like a main thing that does not require a whole lot of aim. Well, though with that said, they have been trying to implement more like skill-based characters. Or more high difficulty characters, I guess you could say. Just add a bunch of red arrows, yeah. Red arrows and green circles. Do you think May's OP? Not at all. She's very easy to counter, in fact. She's a very niche pick in high elo. What kind of support hero would you want to see next if you had to had a say in it? I'm not a game designer, which is why I would not want to have like the biggest impact. The one idea I would want to throw out there is Healing Druid from World of Warcraft. Because the Healing Druid in World of Warcraft has healing over time abilities, and I think that's a pretty cool idea. I said that early in the stream, like some guy who throws potions, kind of like Anna, and then like the people he hits, they get some sort of debuff, and the friends, like your teammates, get like some healing over time effect. I think that'd be pretty cool. Interesting mechanic for sure. I know Mei does not fit in the flow of the game. She slows everything down in a fast-paced game like Overwatch. I think the one point like where she's super viable because of how annoying she is 2 CP. And she definitely does destroy the pacing in 2 CP because of how broken her stalling abilities are. Other than that, I think she is a great addition because you can do some great combos with Mei. Like the standard just put up a Mei wall and have Reinhardt charge the enemies who are blocked behind it. You can punish their positioning as Mei. I think that's a very interesting thing you can do. Are you worried about global warming shifting the tides of the universe to allow the Shadow Master to descend upon us immortals? You know what? If it happens, it happens. YOLO. I hope they have Amazon Prime and subscribe to me for free every 30 days on Twitch. I think Siege has a cool idea, and the new operator Lacian, probably butchered that, who amasses more gadgets for as long as he's alive. This is sort of a trapper with draining effects. Would be interesting. I play that character. I think he's a very interesting character for sure. And Overwatch probably could get some general ideas out of that direction. When a character can easily counter pharmacy, same, but the one thing that counters pharmacy is good aim, and good aim is just not the easiest thing in the world, you know? Like, even I've played shooters all my life, but the gunplay in Overwatch, just, I don't know. I'm not feeling the gunplay for, like, McCree Soldier. Okay, McCree feels great, but Soldier in particular. And when I play McCree, my aim just whiffs too hard. Thanks for your opinion, no worries. That's what I'm here for. Answering some questions, hanging out. I think for Overwatch players will be their main will be Sexy Swiss and XQC will be XQC. Have you played Smash 4 before? I don't think I have. Not a big fan of Nintendo in general. I kind of feel like I grew out of it personally. What kind of a comp game mode would you like to see in Overwatch? A new mode, not just comp DM. Again, I don't want to see anything fancy like 3v3 or 1v1 comp. The only thing I want to see is dedicated 6-star. And to also be a sellout clip, exactly. For the love of God, use that all. I'm sorry. Just kind of trying to read chat here. I now did, so. I think this is gonna be it. I think I went through a whole lot of questions in the hour that we had today. Let me know, guys, what you think of a live stream like that. Where I just do like, I think weekly would be too much, but let me know what you think. I've been thinking like a monthly hangout where I just get on here for an hour or two and just talk to you guys and answer some questions. If that is something you would like to have me do more, then yeah, feel free to let me know. Do you actually ever dab on stream when you got a sub, even though we couldn't see? I haven't gotten any subs. Like, ever since I said I'd be dabbing for subs, nobody subbed to me, and I think that's a sign. Seems like really fun. Thanks for streaming. Enjoyed it. Love the idea. Like it. Will be fun. This stream could be a flaming on XQC stream. We're not gonna get into that habit. Just got here. I'm so sorry, Smacked. But my voice is really beat because I did a VO before doing the stream. But I just wanted to feel out my community on YouTube. If you're interested in watching me stream more often, like stream actual gameplay, like ranked and not just a hangout, then feel free to follow me on Twitch, where I stream occasionally. There is a schedule, but don't believe anything that schedule says, because I just kind of stream whenever I have the time and feel like it. Just like, I know, once a week, usually kind of deal. And yeah. Before we wrap up the stream, as always, I have to end up with some sellout notifications. So YouTube has a new feature that's sponsorships, which means that if you really like my content and you really want me to keep doing it, you can sponsor me on YouTube. Wow, that was awful. You can sponsor me on YouTube for $5 a month, by just following the link in the description below. It leads you to YouTube Gaming. If you are already on YouTube Gaming, there's going to be a green sponsorship button. And yeah, that helps out tremendously because it really adds great value to my ad revenue. They take less of a cut than Twitch does, which is why I would encourage you to do that if you want to support me. Further to that, if you want to have actually something in return, I'm also a Humble affiliate. You can find it on my standard YouTube page. Humble Bundle. Can buy great games in bundles for any price you desire. Your money goes to charity as well. And you can decide where your money goes. So if you don't want the developer to get any money, and you want all your money to go to charity, and not have me and have any of your money either, that's cool too. And you can do that. It's pretty great. And lastly, yeah, again, you can sub to me on Twitch. Subs are half off on Twitch right now, so you can get a regular sub, $2.50, $5 for a king sub, $12.50 for a god sub. And I think that's it. It's a nice way to keep in touch with your viewers. Thanks for the stream. No worries. I think it's a good idea. Which country are you from? Your accent sounds unique. I'm from Germany. Alright, this is gonna be it for me here. Was a fun stream, my dudes. So let's put on some Dancing Winston. That's not gonna be any music. My voice is beat. I'm glad we're done with this. But I had a lot of fun with you guys. I'm gonna be honest, I was really worried that I would have a lot of trolls in chat. But you guys made this very pleasant. I'm glad I was here to answer your questions. And I hope to see you all next time. So have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful weekend. And watch the last episode of Boku no Hero Academia. It's great. And season 3 is probably going to come earlier next year. So thanks for now, my dudes, and see you next time.